Africans, fighting not only against the Nigerian government, but against the world.
If you do not believe in what we are doing, then you better get out. We're not going to stop.
Going to lower the flag of Nigeria and raise the flag of the United States of Biafra.
Every time Nigeria is ringing bell. If I look on news, it is bell. If I look on social media, it is problem. Eh? When I should be drinking coffee, they will make me to come online. They don't want to have me to rest. But you know what? You know what? The spirit in me, the Biafra spirit in me, I said, when I told you, if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is looking for 100 people, I promise that I have 50 in me. You have not seen anything. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. But, you know, as an eke or my own oro, I am a royal rucha. You understand? Till Biafra come. But today you are going to receive sense. The crypto, Nigeria crypto. As they are crippling your economy, they close border. They close the border. ESN came out automatically, you know, weaponized. It shocked them. It shocked them. They said, this border no work. This close of border no work. Now, how do we stop the funding now of this Sunday or Igbo? How do we stop the contribution? Let us stop the crypto. Because they were following Nigerians, southern Nigerians. Use crypto. We should open crypto. Crypto. We use crypto. Don't use the Western Union. Don't use this. They say, so these people are doing crypto. Okay, let us slash them. Bah! They are not considering the economic impact of crypto. No. They are not considering how much the crypto is bringing to Nigeria economy. Their agenda is not to make Nigeria progress. No. They have a better agenda. Now you get the point. Now you get the point. My only problem is that why is it that you must wait? Was Thomas born in Nigeria? Is Thomas a Nigerian? Is Thomas in the Bible in Nigeria? Are you a lineage of Thomas? Are you a lineage of Thomas? All of you have Thomas blood in your vein. How did you get Thomas blood in your vein? That it must happen to you first before you understand. We hear more. In Anokia, you hear more kind of man. Woo! When we are telling you, you don't know, no, we are telling you, even we are not prophets, but everything we have said, everything we open this mouth to say, if it don't happen today, it will happen tomorrow. I want you to go from the beginning of this struggle, from the beginning. In fact, even the one that we are not sure of, once God asks us to say it, we will say it and God will do it. Hey! Woo! I said, did you see the prayer? May God hardened the heart of the leaders in Nigeria so that we will tell them, the world may know that Obi is no longer a boy. I remember when we used to read the history of the Greeks, the Greek gods. I don't know, you know, of course you don't read all those things in Africa. The history of the Greek gods. Medusa, they say Medusa is she look at, when you look at Medusa, you turn into she would dry you and you become stone. Medusa Nigeria. Lekwa Nigeria madosa ya Chineke nnade ngosi. Onye ọbụla na-ekpe ekpere ka Nigeria wee wuru ofu nna nke bridge ndị dị etu a wee laa ha n'iyi. Chineke nna kiwe biko da kiwe kpọọ ha ọkụ. Kpọọ ha ọkụ kpee ezinụlọ ha ọkụ. Ka ha ra, ha gbara ndị ha bụ. Ọbụla ndị ụkọchukwu, onye ọbụla mehụrụ ọnụ ma kulie wee sị na ọ ga-adịrị Nigeria na mma, ọ ga-adịrị onye ahụ na mma na ezinụlọ na mma site gosi wee na-eme n'ụbọchị nketa obodo kwensu bụ zoo Nigeria. Lekwa Nigeria madosa ya Chineke nnade ngosi. Onye ọbụla na-ekpe ekpere ka Nigeria wee wuru ofu nna nke bridge ndị dị etu a wee laa ha n'iyi. Chineke nna kiwe biko da kiwe kpọọ ha ọkụ. Kpọọ ha ọkụ kpee ezinụlọ ha ọkụ. Ka ha ra, ha gbara ndị ha bụ. Ọbụla ndị ụkọchukwu, onye ọbụla mehụrụ ọnụ ma kulie wee sị na ọ ga-adịrị Nigeria na mma. One
of their principal ideas is that this should be done in a peaceful way. Is your group opposed to a peaceful way of achieving Biafra, or are you in support of both sides, whether peaceful or non-peaceful? What is your group behind?
I support both sides. If they give us peace, that is wonderful. If they decide to go down the route of violence, then I can give you this assurance today. Of course, your worldwide listeners and viewers may be able to note this. If they do not give us Biafra, there will be nothing living in that very zoo they call Nigeria. Nothing will survive there, I can assure you. You see, 1967 to 1970 is not 2013 to 2015. We had scientists then, now we have men that can make things happen, even better than what we had in the late 60s. So that should ring as a warning to all of them that we are not joking. I do not believe in peaceful actualization or whatever rubbish is called. I have never seen where you become free by peaceful means. If you know, you tell me. I'm a student of contemporary history. I have never come across anywhere in history books where you get your freedom out of a peaceful process. It's never happened. Never, ever, ever.
Now, let me ask you, if you look at the world today, look at a place like Scotland, where people, the Scottish, are in the process of trying to see if they will get their own country. Basically, the way they went about it was to say, we want to be separate from the British England, and they are putting a process where they will vote, and if majority of them say they want to move, and they will move. Now, I want to ask you, do you think that if you ask majority of Igbo people today whether they should be part of Nigeria or part of Biafra, that you have the numbers that will come to your side of the argument?
Yes, we have over 98% of our people willing. The other 2% are those fathered by Hausa Fulani men as a consequence of the war. Everybody born as a Biafran, everybody born as an Igbo, Ibibio, Efik, Anangebanke, anybody born as a Jo has freedom implanted in their DNA. That is why we have autonomous communities. Have you seen anywhere in the world where you have autonomous communities? Have you seen? The answer is no. The reason why we have autonomous communities is because we are born to be free. We want to be autonomous, and that freedom must be carried right all the way to the heart of governance in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. We must make this very, very clear and abundantly clear to our people that our quest is for us to be free. You mentioned Scotland. Scotland is already a free nation. What they are seeking in Scotland is independence. We are not free and we are not independent either. So that is why the same scenario doesn't apply at all. In Scotland, as a Scottish person, you have your own parliament. You can do whatever you like. You even have what is called tax-raising powers. You can raise taxes or you can lower them as you like. The Scottish Court of Sessions is in charge of the entire legal process in Scotland.
Now, Nandi, let me ask you. I know. Why don't your group push for that in a place like the national conference that is going on now to get that kind of autonomy first, rather than now pushing for independence without whether Nigeria wants it or not?
The fact of the matter is that the structures doesn't exist. The institutions that will allow the emergence of a democratic Biafra within a peaceful setting does not currently exist in that very place you call Nigeria. Mind you, that is the name of a river. Up north, you call them Niger, which is French. If you come down a little bit, it is called Niger, which is English. And the people that live around it are called Nigerians. The only place, or part of the only place in Black Africa where you name a people after a river. I have never seen any civilized country in the world where people are named after a river. It's never happened before. The people own the river, not the other way around. By tacitly accepting the word and the tag Nigeria, what it means is that you never had any history until Frederick Lugard came, which is a fallacy, it's an abomination, and nobody should be saying that. Coming back to what you said, there is no way we can run for office as a political party. We tried it with ABGA and it did not work. These issues were thrashed out very well. Is that the people that control the levers of power within Nigeria are not politically sophisticated enough to appreciate the finer point of political discourse. In other words, that disputes resolution can best be conducted within a political setting where people are civilized. And I'm afraid to say that what I see in the zoo they call Nigeria.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this program. Thank you for being part of us. I urge you to please kindly like and share the program. Like and share on your platform. Like and share to family and friends. Like and share to your neighbors. Do not keep the message to yourself. Share so that others can join us on this very program, and where we continue to preach the gospel as we have always done. No matter how they try to stop us, we will not allow them to stop us. No matter how they try to hold us back, we will not allow them to hold us back. We must continue to preach this gospel until the whole world hears us. Our freedom is in our hand, and we are going to take our freedom by force. So, my fellow Biafrans that are listening, wherever you are listening, we have come once again today, as we always do, to give you updates on things that are happening. Remember, tomorrow there will be the ID card application stream. The ID card application program is going to hold tomorrow. So wherever you are, if you need the ID card, if you want to know how the process is going, or you're having difficulties in filling your forms, please attend the program tomorrow, Friday, for the ID card. It is very important. Every Biafran must have that ID card to identify themselves. It will help to secure you and guide you wherever you are. So wherever you are as a Biafran, make sure you partake. If you have not yet applied, go and apply now. If you're having difficulties, come tomorrow programs on the Zoom. You can ask your questions. You can seek for directions. If you need any help, there will be people there that are going to help you. Don't miss it. Fellow Biafrans that are watching, I urge you today to pay attention to this very program. This was our morning program that was held, and in that morning program, we are bringing it to you for those who missed it to join and air their opinion. You can make your comment on the comment section, whatever be your own contribution. All you need to do is to go through the comment section and you put your own objections there. Whether you agree or you do not agree, just be respectful in your comments. That's all we ask. And share this video as you join. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that's close to you. Very important, so that we can get this message across. Let us listen and watch the morning program that so many of you have missed. Thank you for joining. The whole world have known it, that we are not the same with other people in that zoological republic. Nigeria is not one, has never been one. Those they call their founding fathers have said it. Why don't you end this and allow everybody to go their separate ways, grow in their own space at their own speed? Why are you still forcing people to be in marriage that they do not want to be a part of? Why? Why are you building and creating a monster that is going to destroy you? I am going to play a video, and I want us to pay attention to that video and listen. For some of us, this is the very first time you're going to hear this very voice or see this very announcement. This was the announcement that was made by Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu after the revolution. When they did the revolution, this is the speech he made. I want you to pay attention to this very speech and tell me, is there any way this speech looks like an Igbo agenda? You know, why they don't allow you to read history in Nigeria is because they don't want you to know the truth. There are so many things that are hidden that they don't want you to know. The genocide that was committed against the Biafrans, there has never been any other genocide like that, except the Holocaust. This is the greatest massacre of human being after Holocaust. The next thing is Biafran issue. But today, nobody has been held accountable. Even before the Civil War, there was a pogrom. And when it comes to this issue of pogrom, they don't talk much about it. Some even pretend it never happened. They pretend it never happened. In a situation where Biafran children, mothers, women were murdered in cold blood, in broad daylight. In a situation where northern officers were going house by house, street by street, looking for civilians, Biafrans, and they were taking their life for no just cause, for no reason, for no just cause. And the worst was that when they take the life of those people, they will load them in a trailer and send them to the southeast. This was happening again and again and again and again until Dim Odome Ojukwu said he has seen enough. And the only alternative that remained for us is to defend ourselves. And we started defending ourselves. We created our own nation in 1967 to 1970. Fought to defend. But Nigeria and its ally, the British, the French, the Russians, even the United States to an extent, they were all together fighting against the little country that was just born. And what did they use? Starvation, which is against Geneva Convention. You don't use starvation for war. The only reason Biafrans stepped down was starvation. That was why they seem to have defeated Biafra. They didn't defeat Biafra in the war front or in the gun battle. No. Even though the Biafrans had no ammunition, they did not lose the war because they don't have ammunition. What Nigeria would use was starvation. Children were dying, mothers were dying, elderly were dying. There were corpses littered everywhere. Using starvation in a war is a war crime. Nigeria committed a war crime. The UK, United Kingdom, was part of that war crime. France was part of that war crime. Russia, to an extent, was part of that war crime. Up to today, none of them have tendered an apology, nor recognized that genocide they committed in Biafra land. Instead, the people who were in the front line of that genocide have been celebrated across the world today. And you want Biafrans to see this, watch it, and be happy, and continue to clap for you? No. No, never. I want to play this very video. Listen very carefully to the announcement that was made by Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu when they took over the government. Listen carefully. At the end of his speech, go to the comment section and tell me if there is something that look like ethnic bias in that very day, or if does that announcement look somehow Igboish? Is there anything that looks like as if that man is fighting for the Igbo people? I want you to listen. Listen carefully to this very announcement that was made by Chumanzo, 1966. You see, these informations are all out there. Facts are there, but the Zoological Republic called Nigeria hid this fact from people. They don't want you to know it. They don't want you to lie about it because the country is folded in lie. All they do is one day one will come up and tell you that he wants to tell the truth just to exalt himself, just like that idiot Babangida is doing. A man that is supposed to be rotting in jail in Hague came and said he's confessing. After more than 5 million people have lost their life and continue to lose their life up to as we speak. The atrocity is still going on as we speak. And you want people to clap for you as somebody who has made a confession. Let us pay attention, listen carefully to this very announcement of Chukwuma, Kaduna and Zobo during the revolution.
Of the revolution of the Nigerian Armed Forces, I declare martial law over the northern provinces of Nigeria. The constitution is suspended and the regional government and elected assemblies are hereby dissolved. All political, cultural, tribal and trade union activities, together with all demonstrations and unauthorized gatherings, excluding religious worship, are banned until further notice. The aim of the Revolutionary Council is to establish a strong, united and prosperous nation, free from corruption and internal strife. Our method of achieving this is strictly military, but we have no doubt that every Nigerian will give us maximum cooperation by assisting the regime and not disturbing the peace during the slight changes that are taking place. I am to assure all foreigners living and working in this part of Nigeria that their rights will continue to be respected. All treaty obligations previously entered into with any foreign nation will be respected, and we hope that such nations will respect our country's territorial integrity and will avoid taking sides with enemies of the revolution and enemies of the people. My dear countrymen, you will hear and probably see a lot being done by certain parties charged by the Supreme Council with the duties of national integration, supreme justice, general security, and property recovery. As an interim measure, all permanent secretaries, corporation chairmen, and senior heads of departments are allowed to make decisions until the new organs are functioning, so long as such decisions are not contrary to the aims and wishes of the Supreme Council. No minister or parliamentary secretary exercises administrative or other forms of control over any ministry, even if they are not considered too dangerous to be arrested. This is not a time for long speech making, and so let me acquaint you with the 10 proclamations in the extraordinary orders of the day, which the Supreme Council has promulgated. These will be modified as the situation improves. You are hereby warned that looting, arson, homosexuality, rape, embezzlement, bribery or corruption, obstruction of the revolution, sabotage, subversion, false alarms and assistance to foreign invaders are all offenses punishable by death sentence. Demonstrations and unauthorized assembly, non-cooperation with revolutionary troops are punishable in grave manner up to death. Refusal or neglect to perform normal duties or any task that may be of necessity by local military commanders in support of the change will be punishable by a death sentence imposed by the local military commander. Spying, harmful or injurious publications, and broadcasts of troop movements or actions will be punishable by any suitable sentence deemed fit by the local military commander. Shouting of slogans, loitering, and rowdy behavior will be rectified by any sentence of incarceration or any more severe punishment deemed fit by the local military commander. Doubtful loyalty will be penalized by imprisonment or any more severe sentence. Illegal possession or carrying of firearms, smuggling or trying to escape with documents, valuables, including money or other assets vital to the running of establishments, will be punished by a death sentence. Wavering or sitting on the fence and failing to declare open loyalty with the revolution will be regarded as an act of hostility, punishable by any sentence deemed suitable by the local military commander. Tearing down an order of the day or proclamation or other authorized notices will be penalized by death. This is the end of the extraordinary order of the day, which you will soon begin to see displayed in public. My dear countrymen, no citizen should have anything to fear, so long as the citizen is law-abiding, and if that citizen has religiously obeyed the native laws of the country and those set down in every heart and conscience since 1st October 1960. Our enemies are the political profiteers, the swindlers, the men in high and low places that seek bribes and demand 10%. Those that seek to keep the country divided permanently so that they can remain in office as ministers or VIPs at least. The tribalists, the nepotists, those that make the country look big for nothing before international circus. Those that have corrupted our society and put the Nigerian political calendar back by their words and deeds.
I hope you have heard it. After listening to this very speech that was made by Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu, Major Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu, in 1966, does that speech in any way suggest that there is an Igbo plan in what that man was saying? In that revolution, is there any way it looks as if it's an agenda of the Igbos? In that very speech you just had, directly from the man who led the revolution. In that very speech, if you listen carefully, on your own, you can go and listen to it. He mentions the reasons why they were going on that revolution and their plan. The project was for one Nigeria. It wasn't for division. It wasn't for benefit. It was for the benefit of every single person in that Zoological Republic. It was a one Nigerian project, a one Nigerian revolution. But as I have always said, little do they know that Nigeria was not meant to be one. Little did they know. But it is a pity that even at this time in 2025, there are still people who doesn't believe and understand that Nigeria is not meant to be one and will never be one. This was the mistake that Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogu made in 1966. Trying to make Nigeria one. Trying to build a formidable Nigeria. He embarked on a revolution with fellow young officers. Look at where the damage they have caused. Look at what Nigeria gave them back for trying to build it up. Every time any human being makes a move to build Nigeria, you are only digging your grave. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your tribe. More especially the Biafran people. Anytime you are a Biafran and you are making a move that favors one Nigeria or that translates to success of Nigeria, you are digging your grave. And I pity those who are around you. This has always been the case. It does not matter whether you agree with this or not. It does not matter what you think. The painful thing is that this lesson that was taught since 1966. There are still people today who have not learned their lesson. Everyone on this platform, on your own time, go back and listen to that very speech that was made by the man who they accused of being the leader of that coup. He made a speech in 1966. Does that speech in any way suggest that there is an ethnic correlation to that very revolution? Does it in any way suggest that it was for a breakup? Does it in any way suggest that that very speech was meant to promote the evils? But these are facts in the public. But what do? They take away the fact from you and they hide it. They hide it that you cannot be able to hear it, and they bring their own narrative and begin to push it out there. They have been pushing that narrative for many, many years. Many, many years. The Biafrans have been shouting, talking about their innocence. Nobody wants to listen. Mazen Nandekano have been hammering on this again and again. The Biafran did not go for war. Nigeria, go on, brought war upon the Biafran people. Nobody wants to listen. They took away history. They don't want to attend to it. But all of a sudden, why this issue is coming back to the front today is because one criminal came out to regain his personality. One criminal came out to promote himself again, and now they regenerate it. And you see some people come and applaud him for something that we, the Biafrans, have known for a very long time. And it is much painful that there are people, Biafrans themselves, who have not learned this lesson, that any move you make to promote Nigeria or build Nigeria, you are bringing death upon your people. Starting from that time, that move of revolution for Nigeria, not for the Igbos, not for any division, to have a better Nigeria, it brought death. Aguiyi went in again to redeem the same death. He took his own life also. And they went ahead to go into the program that took the life of many Biafrans. They went into war. Dim Odumegwu took them to Aburi, still to discuss on one Nigeria, not division, just to get restructuring. What did they do? They abandoned it. They came back and they took more than 5 million lives. Mazen Nandekano still gave them the opportunity of one Nigeria. What did they do? They brought Python dance that took his 2 parents at the same time. They were buried the same day. He narrowly escaped, and that is still what he's suffering today. And somebody is still sitting somewhere, still talking about one Nigeria. A Biafran, for that matter, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of you, and you will die a miserable death. Whoever you are, I don't know. Wherever you are, you come across this video and you're listening, you will die a miserable death. These informations are in the public, but they will not allow you. You heard this voice was from the man himself, the man who lived. When they say Chukuma Kaduna Nzo, you heard him speak eloquent English, and people were hearing him. His speech. Go back and listen to that speech again and again. Does that speech in any way suggest? Does that speech in any way suggest that that man was fighting for Igbos? But for one reason or the other, some people preached a lie. Even the person that we are trying to put there to run the government, Awolowo, Awolowo was the person who superseded the atrocities in Biafra land, the starvation of Biafra people. He was the one in the front line for the death of millions of Biafrans through starvation. The same person they wanted to put there, the person they were fighting for. The hatred is deep. So whenever you're trying to think you make them like you, they will never like you. They will never like you. It doesn't matter what you do, they will never like you. The Janjaweed and the haters of Igbos in the West, in the Southwest, they will never like you. It does not matter what you say. It does not matter what you do. It doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't matter. Even if you take your life and give them, they will never be satisfied. The earlier you know that, the better. Give them your life, they will never like you. Peace is not merely the absence of tension. It's the presence of justice. Today, the kind of peace they want us to have is the peace of the graveyard. The kind of peace and justice they're talking about is giving you money. Just like the Ohanes Ndohin and Dam is asking them to give money. That is not what we want. Peace is not merely the absence of tension. It's the presence of justice. And that justice we must get by fire, by force. It is very sad. But we must continue. These are information that are in the public. But they hid it from you. Before I allow my beloved brother Greg to make his contribution and join us, I want to play another video. You know, it is good going back to these things. These are information that have been there. That is some people that see, when you hear that Bangida said this, he said that these things have been said over and over and over again. There are numerous evidence. People who fought on the front line have spoken. But Nigeria choose to begin to preach that very hatred that is favoring them. I don't know what the Biafrans has done to them. Nothing. There is nothing they can say we did. The Biafran people, we are not the one that took away their so-called grandfathers. It wasn't Biafra. Biafra has no hand in it. Biafrans have never engaged them in any warfare, in any way, directly or indirectly. They are the one that have offended us on several occasions. They are the one, since 1945, they have been the one that have been attacking us. That is why when I see these people that call themselves governors in Biafra land, I shed tears. I saw a video where some idiot, some criminal, they call themselves traditional land, went to Sokoto to go and beg Sultan of Sokoto. Begging him for what? Why are you begging? Somebody offended you. Continue to offend you. Continue to boast on offending you, and you are going to beg. Peter Mba sent traditional rulers to Sokoto. For what reason? The same thing they were trying to do before. It was leaked. When this Iwanyamu idiot that died, when he was here, Iwanyamu was organizing a group to go to the north and apologize. Until the information and the Biafrans were outraged. Apologize to what? How can any human being begin to imagine? Apologize for what? Are you going to apologize to the north for? The same people that have hated you from the day one. The same people that have been killing you since 1945. You have never retaliated. You haven't done anything against them. They fought a war, more than 5 million people lost. And they continue to take your life up to this moment as we speak. And all you could do, instead of standing your ground, is to go and beg. Send delegates to go and beg. And you call yourself a man. You call yourself a nation. This bunch of criminals delegitimize idiots that are representing themselves, claiming to represent the Biafrans. Let us listen to this one. Another revelation.
That the killings in the counter-coup were senseless. Army officers of Igbo origin were killed in Abeokuta, in Ikeja,
3 of them,
in the north, and northerners and military officers then went to town, and Igbos were targeted. That was what you saw.
Yes.
In Kaduna. Igbo men and women were killed, even children.
Yes.
That's what you call the pogrom.
Yes.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that report? I want you to pay attention to this report. These things are important. You know, when they are talking about IBB, there are more grievous information that when you hear it, you get mad. And this is why we, the Biafrans, we would never forgive. Never. The only apology is to allow us go our separate ways. Children, mothers, women were murdered in cold blood, broad daylight, and nobody came to their rescue. Nobody has been held accountable. Up to today, as we speak, the people that participated actively are still walking about, celebrated everywhere. Listen.
Obasanjo said that the killings in the counter coup were senseless. Army officers of Igbo origin were killed in Abiyakuta, in Ikeja,
3 of them,
in the north, and northerners and military officers then went to town, and Igbos were targeted. That was what you saw.
Yes.
In Kaduna.
What you are seeing here is an eyewitness account. Eyewitness account. You know, some of us, we are too very lazy in reading. All these things, they are in books. Books have been written, thousands of books have been written on this very issue. But most of us, we are lazy. More especially we, the black people, we are not very good at reading information. We prefer this visual communication. That is what we prefer. And that is why we take our time to get this extract and play it so that you can see it visually, so that the information can sink inside you. The man seated there, you are seeing there, is an eyewitness. An eyewitness, that is what they're looking at.
Igbo men and women were killed, even children. That's what you call the pogrom.
Yes.
And because of the pogrom, there was war. Yes. In 1967, you joined the Nigerian army.
Yes.
After you have witnessed the pogrom.
The pogrom, yes.
You joined the Nigerian army during wartime.
Yes.
When did you realize that it was a pogrom? Was it before you joined the army or after you have left the army?
I saw everything. I was a living witness. Then after the war, I decided to write my book.
Why did you join the army to fight Biafra?
To keep Nigeria one. That was the slogan to us. That was the slogan to us. There was no any other slogan rather than to keep Nigeria one.
So by the time you were joining the army, you believed that the Igbo nation was wrong?
Anyway, but later on I discovered that they were not wrong.
Did you hear? This is an eyewitness who joined in the massacre of Igbos. When he joined army, they later joined army. And he was asked this question. When you just imagine, listen the way he responded to the question and the way he answered. The reluctantness in answering, because Nigeria has already implanted fear. Many of them today that you see that is antagonizing us as Igbos, Biafrans, they know the truth. It is not that they don't know it. They know this truth. They know this truth very well. Many of them today that are speaking against us, they know this truth and they know it very, very well. But fear has been planted inside them that some of them cannot be bold to speak. This one has written a book long ago. But the only thing that is giving them confidence to come out today is the emergence of Biafra. It is not even the confession of, what do you call it? Bangida. The emergence of Biafra gave birth to what we are seeing today. This presenter here, this Okilo, this guy that is presenting, what gave him the courage of this presenting is Mazen Nandekano program. Mazen Nandekano, message of Biafra. All this is we are doing have given many people courage to come out today and speak and talk about issues that matters. I want you to pay attention to the body language of this man and how he responds. The sluggishness and reluctantness in speaking the truth, even when he wants to speak the truth.
Anyway, but later on I discovered that they were not wrong. You know, I was in the trench for 20 months, fighting day and night. 20 months without being posted to the rear. Or transferred from the trench until the end of the war. And I saw how the Biafrans were determined with zeal to fight us. They were fighting for survival. Even it came to a point in 1969 when a lot of soldiers realized that the war was fruitless. It's not the war that only the ordinary people were been killed in the war front, and those who caused the war were not affected. People started to inflict themselves with injury to be taken to the rear, but until Obasanjo came to save the situation and ended the war. If not,
did you hear that? This is an account of somebody who was active during this war. He's confessing that at a stage they discovered that these people they are fighting against has not committed any crime. That at a stage, some of the soldiers that have conscience, and I believe those of them from the Middle Belt, who joined them to fight this war, they begin to inflict themselves with wounds so that they can be taken away from the war front. Because they discovered that the people that created this problem are not facing it. Those who sent them to go and take innocent life are not facing. And the people that were taking their life were innocent children, women, parents, elderly ones, innocent people, unarmed civilians was what they were getting. He said the war is fruitless. Some of them began to look for a way to get out of the mess before Obasanjo came on board and played his own criminality to end the war with their no victor, no vanquish, and the 3R came up. Let us listen to him again. Let's listen.
Caused the war were not affected. People started to inflict themselves with injury to be taken to the rear, but until Obasanjo came to save the situation and ended the war. If not, and I believe I stated in my book there how Biafra surrender. It was not much of our firepower or anything. It was hunger.
Did you hear that? I want you to pay attention to this part. That they did not defeat Biafra with their firepower or because of the huge ammunition they have. What they used was hunger. Hunger was what they used to starve Biafrans by blocking all the borders. They didn't win us in the battlefield. It was hunger they used. And this thing they use is against Geneva Convention. It's a war crime. You do not use hunger in war. If you go into war, it is man to man. You fight to death. International law is against that. It's a war crime. It's a war crime. To use hunger in war is a war crime. Look at somebody who was in the front confessing to the war crime the contraption called Nigeria committed against the Biafrans. This information is in the public, and up to today, the whole world is keeping silent. Nobody is paying attention to these informations. They pretend they didn't see it. And that is why when Mazen Nanekano speak or Mazen Samarapa speak, he tell them that this time around, you can never, ever defeat Biafrans. Even in 1966, 67 to 70, you didn't defeat Biafrans. You did not defeat Biafrans. And this man is now confirming it, that they didn't defeat us in battle. It was hunger that they used by keeping all those blockades. They blocked Cameroon. That is why today, Ambazonia is very, very, very important to us. That is why our alliance with Ambazonia is very, very crucial and important, and we must not play with it. They blocked that very area, blocked the air, and allowed our children to starve to death. Our soldiers were mainly dying of hunger. Our soldiers were mainly dying of hunger. There was no food anywhere. That was how the Biafrans gave up the war. You know, when we say it certain times, it will be as if we are from it. This is somebody who is in the Nigerian side, who fought on the Nigerian side in the front, confessing and testifying before Edmond Obilo. Edmond Obilo have been doing a very great work. And all these things were inspired by Mazen Nandekano's message that gave the liberty for people to come out and speak. Before, you cannot come to Nigeria and you talk about restructuring before. If you speak about restructuring in Nigeria before, it's a death penalty. If you speak about restructuring in Nigeria before, it's a death penalty. But now, people come and argue about restructuring in their House of Assembly, in the House of Senate. It is a national discourse. You come to TV and you talk about it. But there was a time it was a death penalty. If you dare do it, the North will hunt you until you're gone. They will destroy you. I want us to pay attention to the testimony of this man. Very important.
The war. If not, and I believe I stated in my book there how Biafra surrender. It was not much of our firepower or anything. It was hunger. It was hunger. It was hunger. Because when we block the Cameroon border through road, Calabar, and we block Port Harcourt through air, Biafra was not having any access to outside world through air, through water, through land. So they were in a desperate situation by then, and they were affected by hunger. I think that factor alone affected the people, the Biafran soldiers on the battlefield. You see.
This is a testimony of a man who fought on the side of Nigeria. And I'm going to play the last video before our brother makes his contribution. Let us listen to Obadiah Melafia, what he has to say.
Not everybody that took part in that wicked enterprise, in that pogrom against the defenseless Indigbo people. And I've always said it, this country will never be normal until we kneel down and ask for forgiveness from Indigbo for the wicked sins we've committed against them. Everybody that took part in that wicked enterprise, in that pogrom against the defenseless Indigbo people. And I've always said it, this country will never be normal until we kneel down and ask for forgiveness from Indigbo for the wicked sins we've committed against them. Everybody that took part in that wicked enterprise, in that pogrom against the defenseless Indigbo people. And I've always said it, this country will never be normal until we kneel down and ask for forgiveness from Indigbo for the wicked sins we've committed against them. Everybody that took part in that wicked enterprise, in that pogrom against the defenseless Indigbo people. And I've always said it, this country will never be normal until we kneel down and ask for forgiveness from Indigbo for the wicked sins we've committed against them.
The person that spoke is Obadiah Melafia. May his soul rest in peace. He is from the Middle Belt. His own region played a major role in the Civil War, and he apologized before his death. One of the reasons why they took his life was because of this kind of message. He was the first person that began to make these revelations and open confessions. He was the person that was making open confessions and apologies. And they took his life. The Nigerian government took him away. These are truths and facts that are out there, but they shut it out and they don't want you to pay attention. Peace is not merely the absence of tension, it's the presence of justice. If Nigeria wants peace, Biafra must have justice. If Nigeria wants peace, Biafra must have justice. If not, they haven't seen nothing yet. You think you've seen tension? They haven't seen nothing yet. My brother Greg, you're welcome. Go ahead and talk to us. My brother Greg, thank you for joining.
So, yes, good morning, Chiefs.
You're welcome, my brother.
Yes, so thank you. This morning I waited for you yesterday. It's like yesterday was a busy day for you.
Yeah.
I say if we would not see you today, then we will know what's going on. So thank God that you are back again today. Yes, my brother. I think a lot of testimonies. But before I will make any comment, I think I will first of all say thank you to God. All I have to say is thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. All we have to say today is just thank you, Lord. What can Biafrans say? All we have to say today is thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. All we have to say today is thank you, God. We thank God so much. We thank God so much. You know, since this week, with all these testimonies playing out, with all these truths coming out, the first thing every Biafran is supposed to do is to say, thank you, God. That is the first thing. And I myself, why I'm saying thank you, God, is because when I look as a child born within this time of war, surviving today, still talking about Biafra, I will burst out and I'll say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, that I'm alive. I survived Nigerian Biafra war as a little baby, and today I'm still talking about Biafra. So this, for me, is a miracle. Yes. Where can I start? These testimonies is a miracle. If people don't know, for the cause we are fighting. But before I proceed, I will start from home. I will not first start from the enemies. I will start from the family. After all these testimonies, how did the family of Biafrans, the so-called Biafran themselves, how did they go deep and think about this testimony of all these enemies of the Biafrans? Why can any Biafran listen to this testimony and he will keep quiet? How can a Biafran listen to all these testimonies coming from left and right, from the enemies, and they are still turning gun against their brothers and sisters? How can a born Biafran, a born Calabar man, Ibibio, Ijo man, Eka man, Igbo man, all the makeup of Biafra people, listen to all these testimonies, and they are still turning their gun against their Biafrans? How can a Biafra man listen to all these testimonies and you are working in Nigerian military and they are still sending you to Biafra land to kill your people, to subject your people, and you listen to all these testimonies, and they will send you and you will go? How can you, a Biafran, a born Niger Delta man, a born Abo man, a born Eka man, a born Useluku man, how can you listen to all these testimonies and they will still tell you You are not an Igbo man. And they will still tell you, carry your gun, go to the east, kill them, burn their houses, and you will still go and do it. How can you, as a Biafran, still listen to this very testimonies, and you are still acting the way you're acting? If I sometimes relax and think about it, I cannot understand it. As a Biafran, as an Igbo man, as a Biafran, and they will still turn your brain, and you will still be listening to that. How can Tompolo, how can the whole northern, the whole Niger Deltas, the Niger militants listen to all these testimonies and they still keep quiet? How can they listen to all these testimonies and they still turn their gun against the people that have not done anything to them? How can they turn their guns and their enmity to the people that they're supposed to defend? How can they still be so reluctant to fight for what belongs to them? How can they still sit at home and they will be looking and they will telling them the oil you are doing, the petrol you are producing in your land is illegal. You cannot produce any petrol illegal. How can you sit as a Niger Delta man and they will be turning things around to you and to your brothers and you keep quiet? After all these testimonies, I cannot understand it. How can you, a Biafran politician, how can also them, how can Soludo, how can an idiot Mba, Ifrum, how can the so wicked former governor of Ebonyi State, what's his name again? The former governor, the one that the minister for work, how can, what's the name, please? How can you?
Doesn't work.
How can you, the Buruburu, the former Enugu State governor, how can you, the so-called Apeze, he said that Buhari and Bangida make you billionaire? How can you listen to all these testimonies? How can you, the so-called Emeka Ofo, how can you listen to all these testimonies? How can you, the former defense minister to Jonathan, Ihe, how can you listen to all these testimonies? How can you listen to all these testimonies? The Moko from Delta State. How can you find the former Delta governor of Delta State? How can you show the answer name Oko Chukuma Ifani Okonkwo Oko? Listen to all these testimonies from every corner. How can you listen to this testimony? The former wife of Ojukwu, because I don't think Ojukwu is still one marrying in the spirit. How can you, Bianca, the daughter of no, listen to all these testimonies? How can you, the so-called wife of Nnamdi Kanu, listen to all these testimonies? How can you, the so-called DOS, or whatever they call you, listen to all these testimonies? How can you, all the enemies, born enemies of Biafrans, I'm talking about the inner ones, the born Biafrans that are turning their guns against their brothers. How can you do people who gang up against Nnamdi Kanu listen to all this testimony? How can you write petition, all the Honezes who write petition, lie against Simon Ekman, listen to all these petitions? How can you the same people that call yourself billionaires living in Lagos, listen to all these testimonies and you keep quiet? Shame unto you. Shame unto you. And this testimony is a prayer on its own. That all these people that is still alive today, listen to all these testimonies, and they are still remaining, and they are still working with these people that gang up against the land of Biafra. I'm telling you the truth. You and anything that you have produced in that is bearing Biafran name is a cause. That the blood of all these Igbos that die, Biafrans, all the whole Biafra, the blood of all the whole Biafrans die, and all with all these testimonies, we fight against the Biafrans that turn themselves against the Biafrans. I'm not talking about the enemies in the first place. I'm talking about those Biafrans who we hear all these testimonies and they still gang up against the person who's really and genuinely fighting for Biafra. This testimony is a curse unto you, unto any Biafran. The land of Biafra is a curse unto them who will listen to all this testimony and they still go and gang up against the people who are still fighting for their rights to today. The land of Biafra will be a curse. The water in the Biafra will be a curse. The wind, the air you breathe in Biafra, it will be a curse. The bush in the Biafra will be a curse. The sun that shines in Biafra land is a curse. The rain that falls in Biafra land is a curse. And anything that comes naturally that from God will turn against you. As long as you hear these testimonies, people all these things will turn against you because he said Ojukwu was violent and Gowon was on the peace side. All these things will be a cost to you. So that is my first message to these people. Then before we come to the testimony on its own to talk about it, you know, when you listen to these testimonies that is coming up here and there, then you ask yourself, why is it coming at this very point in time? It is coming because Nigeria are coming to understand that as long as in this generation that there's no way we can take it anymore. It is coming because the land and the wind and the air the Nigerians breathe have started forcing them to speak the truth. They are not speaking this truth because they like it. It's not at all. Babangida is not coming out now to talk because he wants to talk. I'm telling you, because if he really wants to talk, when he come out, he would have kneeled down and apologized. But he did not do that. You will remember when they were killing Biafra, when Ajaz Zare interviewed Buhari, that woman told Buhari, look on that television and see what is going. Buhari said that he will not look on it. Because his conscience is hitting him hardly. He cannot look on that screen to see because he knows what happened. He knows the truth. And he's sitting on top of that truth. What will happen to the north? It will not be long. What will happen to the north will not be long. The wind will fight them. The sun will fight them. The moon will fight them. Because of all the lies and all the wickedness they perpetuate against the Biafra people, especially the Igbo people, for no cause. For no just single reason. I watched all the videos you played here. Look at Kaduna Zog. Kaduna Zog is from the Niger Delta. What did they do? That is why sometimes my brother just think I don't know if a lot of people used to think it. Kaduna Zog is an Igbo man from the Niger Delta. And he born in the north, grew in the north. Live as an Hausa man. They enjoyed him everything. Why did these people strike for this revolution? If you can listen very well, you will know that it was because of this corruption that is still happening now. Because of this this Islamic and Fulanization in agenda? And why would they not? Why they will not come to say, I'm sorry? They can never come to tell you I'm sorry because they have agenda of what they want to achieve. It is only somebody that made a mistake. It is only somebody that did not sit down and plan what he wants to do and what he wants to achieve. That he made a mistake and maybe he wronged you, that come and tell you, I am sorry. Don't expect the Fulanese, the Muslim man, to come and tell you, I'm sorry. They cannot do it because they have agenda. And the Igbos have been an obstruction to those their agenda. The one that said that if he have a job that he cannot give it to an Igbo man, he will instead hire a foreign missionary, any other tribe, but under contract. He knows what the agenda is all about. And he knew that it is only the Igbo people that is their own obstruction. Not because of Igbo will come and if he put him in a label as he made there, when he comes to that place, he will march as a leader. You cannot march as a leader when you don't know the work. It is only when you come and you know that particular work, that even if you are sleeping, and then wake you up and say, go and do it, you go and do it perfectly. That is only when they can make you a leader in that work. They will not make you a leader because of you are an Igbo man. No. Understand? So that is why. But they hate it. They don't want that kind of gift to flow in that country. They don't want that kind of gift that will make that country to be bright. Their only agenda, what is more important to them, is Islam and the accumulation of that other people's land. That is still the agenda to today. Because when you watch in this last election, when they interview one of the northern man, I've forgotten his name, they were asking him that, why do you think, why are you supporting Tinubu? Because they say APC wants this power to go to the south, and the Obi is coming out as in PDP in Labour Party, and the Obi and Atiku and is coming out. So why must you support a southerner that is Tinubu, and they say that Tinubu is corrupt? Why must you support a corrupt person? That all these testimonies about Obi, what do you say about it? And why must you support Tinubu that everybody know that he is corrupt? And everybody is saying that the power will not come to the north. So that means Atiku might not succeed. Why must you support Tinubu? He said he will support Tinubu because what is important to them is not whether the person is corrupt or he is not corrupt. And what is important to them is Islam. I'm just quoting him. So that it is better for them that somebody is a criminal. I'm just saying what the man has said. I'm not making it up. That is better for them that a man is a criminal and he will rule Nigeria, but he must be a Muslim. And that is the same agenda that is still in that particular land called Nigeria. That is what they still believe. So the devil who is a Muslim is better than a righteous and the uncorrupt person that is a Christian. So no matter what you do, they will not come to you and say, I'm sorry, because they have an agenda. And that agenda is what they must achieve. So if any person thinking that anything will change tomorrow, that person is a fool. If you don't understand it. And that is what the world must understand. That is what Finland must understand, because in this country we are living, there was a time one priest, so they went a kind of there's a kind of seminar, whatever they went. So there's somebody that wrote a book. The one German that wrote a book about Nigeria. So they went on this when they want to launch this book. So they invited this priest because he studied, he did his doctorate degree here. So he was invited. So before this, they gave him that book to read. So when he read, after reading all this book, then he called the attention of the people and the person who wrote this book and asked him, where did you get all these informations? Where did you do this research before writing this book? He said that people got it for him from Nigeria. He went to Nigeria and they got all this information. So choose what was written in that book was that the Southerners are dominating the Northerners and impoverishing them, making them very poor. That is only the Easterners that are surviving in Nigeria, and we are the one causing the problem in Nigeria. So when the priest after he read that book, he told the woman, he asked him, how many Nigerians have you met here? He said, I met many of them. Did you ask them where they came from? The woman said, not actually. He just asked them about Nigeria. He said, you're supposed to do your investigation very well. That all the whole people you saw in this Europe, they're all from South and mostly from East. Then after your education in Nigeria, you cannot get a job. After your education in Nigeria, you don't get a job as an Easterner. He started telling this woman, and this book is supposed to be launched about tomorrow, like the next day. And he was invited to come and speak in that program. So that is how they brought. That is what, because our people don't care. When they will see someone like Ates and Obi, when Obi will come and tell the whole world that to go on was stand for peace. It was Ojukwu who was pushing for violence. So what do you expect this kind of people to write? What kind of testimony do you want this kind of people to have? So that is what we are suffering in that country. So they change the whole narrative. So that is how the priest started. He said he don't care that when he went to that program, he still told them the same thing, that the information was wrong. The Northerners refused to go to school. He started telling them what is happening in Nigeria. So that all those informations were wrong. The only problem they want is they want Islam, not education. And he gave them an example of Boko Haram. And that is why I still hate the wife of Clinton. I love Clinton so much, but the wife is evil and Obama is evil. Because when the Boko Haram started bombing Nigeria, the wife of Clinton was the foreign minister. And what he told the world was Boko Haram is not terrorists. That they were not terrorists. That was the message. And Obama hold on that message, the same message till today. That Boko Haram was not terrorist. So what are we saying? So our problem is our people who are helping them to achieve everything they want to achieve. When you come in Igbo land, and Ates was the first person who make 500 million to Babangida. If it were in a functioning land, Babangida by now is supposed to be in jail. By now, they must have arrested him for even coming there. But look at the category of the people that were in that book, launching of that book. The president of the nation was there, Tinubu. All who in Nigeria was in that, Obasanjo, Abdul Salam, because they are the people holding the country not to move forward. If somebody like that can come and launch this kind of book and they make 17 billion naira in Nigeria, where the man is supposed to be in jail, even only that testimony for canceling that election because of his friend Abacha, he's supposed to be arrested from that hall. You see, but they were clapping for him, calling him the best Nigerian leader. So, my brother, what can you talk about? When you think about what is happening in our land, when you go home and start thinking about our problem, because what pains me so much is not what the enemy is doing to us. What is paining me so much is what our people are doing to themselves. Look at this Yoruba man who joined the military after seeing the genocide in 1990. He joined the main army in 1967, according to him. And he said he saw the killings of the Igbos. He saw the injustice against the Igbos, but they told him that he have to join army to fight to keep Nigeria one, and he went on battle to kill the Igbos. And now he's regretting it, writing book that it was injustice. But the same thing is still happening to today. And the same Southerners and the Igbo people are still helping the Northerners achieve their goal. Their goal is to Islamize and drive people out of their homelands and bring in Fulani from Futajela. And our people are still helping them to achieve it. Their goal is only one goal. So it doesn't matter what you do. They have their own goal. And nobody is acting this criminal, Babangida. What about that Abuja Declaration of 1989? It was during the Babangida administration that they have the Islamized Nigeria. It was during the Babangida administration that they have this Abuja Declaration. And the same man knew that the coup that brought this Nigerian Biafra war was not Igbo's agenda. And he sits on top of it till today. So, this man did not do this thing that you are hearing and all this testimony. All this man not coming because it is only the wind of God that is pushing them to go and say all these things to justify what the Biafrans are doing. So it is left for the whole world, and we will not keep quiet because this program will have to continue and continue because the whole world will hear it. Let me rest for now. Thank you, my brother. Chris has just come in.
Thank you so much, my brother Greg, for that amazing contribution. My brother Christian, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us, Christian.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Morning, brother.
We are discussing on a topic which says peace is not merely the absence of tension. It is the presence of justice. That is of Biafra for justice. And we try to draw our ideas from many confessions that are coming from right, left, and center. These are informations that we have known in the past, but they have refused to own up to it. But eventually today, even people who were in the war front, who were part of this genocide, are confessing.
Yeah, confessing. Yeah.
We are saying that confession is not enough.
Can never.
We don't need compensation. We don't need any compensation. Just let us go. Go ahead, my beloved brother. Make your contributions.
That's true, my brother. Thank you, brother Greg. Thank you so much for the effort. We have to keep doing the needful. You know, it's not over until it's over. Yes. So, you know, for me, because I think it was yesterday, and I came in late and I saw the program. It probably was. It wasn't live, but it's. I think you might know some of these our brothers who are on the street in the zoo. You know, they like the Flip TV, but not exactly Flip. But there's other one where you have the Okonko them. You know, they speak on topical issues. And they are Biafrans. Some are Biafrans, some are not. But basically, they talk about so many things. And I saw the one yesterday from Ralph. His name is Ralph with the big beard, you're right. So I listened to it, and I thought at the end I was like, it made quite a lot of sense, you know. So he was. I made the program somewhat in the middle, like halfway, sort of, and. He was talking about having Dr. Ngozi Arabeze provide with, like to find a way to provide her with bodyguard or at least security. And he elaborated on the reasons. And when I sat back and thought about it, I was like, okay, but this is something that we can't afford to, like get complacent or take these things for granted, because you just never know the extent that these evil people are willing to go sometimes. Because truly, sometimes I don't know how to explain it, but they are serious, and we also who want our freedom have to show seriousness. We have to try, even as we pray, even as we put her, put her in prayer, and we also have to do the needful, because heaven help those who help themselves. And I was like, yeah, if again, given the extent, the level, this evil bunch of globalists led by basically British, their history is all out there for everybody to see. And I know what their aim is towards Nigeria. I know what their intentions are, what they really want to achieve with that contraction called Nigeria. But I believe very strongly that God is not in support of it. That is why things are falling like a pack of cards, on them, because it's not in line with the will of God at all. And it's nothing beneficiary, it's nothing good for humanity, but just pure destruction. And like I said, everything points to the fact that they are on the path of evil, and that is why a lot is happening too, So, but like why I said it, I raised the issue of that brother Ralph was that take for example Trump. They many times they're trying to take him out. Even in his first term, they did everything to take him out. And as he was preparing to come to this second term, they also line him up for a takeout completely. Why? Because they know that he was coming to change the narrative, to paint a particular picture and right the wrongs. And they don't want that. They watch. I saw it live in that rally he had. The guy who was supposed to take him out, the police, the FBI, and the rest of them, they saw him climb to the rooftop of the building, and they did nothing. They waited for him to take the shot. They wanted him to take the shot. By the time he blows up his brain, then they will take him out. That was the game plan. Take him out, then they take him out too. It's like take Trump out, then they will now. And that is exactly what they did. But the unfortunate thing was that him that says, let there be and there is, says no, not now, not yet. He has a mission. So he moved his head. When he moved his head, the bullet, instead of piercing through the brain, pierced through the ear, and blood splashed. That was just it. And I don't know, you don't have to be a prophet to saw the handwriting on the wall to really know what happened, how it went down. So if there was any doubt, because lots of people who don't believe in the things we believe, but it's okay too. It's okay, whatever you choose to believe. So, but why I'm saying this is that I think that we as Biafrans, in diaspora, in Europe, America, and other places, I think we are large enough. Let's just say that monthly, specifically on this very point, we say, okay, we have to protect the leader of the movement for now. Because she is in charge now, and we have to do everything we can to protect her. We cannot leave everything in the hand of faith and God. God is doing his own. We have also to do our own. Because look at, for example, Simon Ekpa. The fact that Finland, for about 3 months now or more, they continue to hold an innocent man. They won't let him go. And they knew the importance of his, being around, presence, doing everything he can to protect the people. And since the Finland, collaborated with these people to arrest him or whatever they did, we have also seen the way things went in the past. Before now, hopefully things are, So my point is that we really have to do our best. If it's, let's just say it's monthly, because if you get like 2 or 3, maybe 2 security that would be on standby, I don't see how that would be too much. we run into hundreds of thousands of Biafrans, maybe millions in the diaspora. If we set aside every month 20 euros or dollar or pound, whatever, or even 10, that will cover that. It will cover it beyond. You can't even imagine. So if it can be set aside and say, this is for this purpose, that wouldn't be too much for me. Every month we put it there, 20 pounds. That's just for that. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have, it's like the saying that when you strike the shepherd, right, and the sheep scatters. That is how it goes, and it's always their target. We saw it happen with Nnamdi Kanu. About a month before the kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu, I knew personally that the Biafra was here. And the enemy also knew there was a measure that was going to be taken by Nnamdi Kanu. So they worked so hard using the criminals amongst us, the DOS, the British government, the zoo government, and all other collaborators to get him kidnapped. So that thwarted that move. Now, with the PM, I personally knew also the measures that was going to be followed after the declaration, because if what they did not happen, by now as we speak, trust me, my brother, by now as we speak, Jesus Christ, where we are now would have been a different thing. No, we're making progress. Every day we're making progress. But trust me, the enemy knew, and they were able to put so much pressure on Finland, and they get themselves compromised, and they got him in. So that again thwarted the move. Because like I said, if not for that, measures were already in place to get this thing rolling, where the world will not have to do something. Because except you are ready to lay everything on the line, the world will not even listen to you. The world is such a radical place, people don't pay attention, except you have to cry out, you have to do everything you have to do. So this is important. So as it is now, we are believing that he will be out by the grace of God, because he hasn't done anything wrong. But for the one we have now, who is leading the ship, we have to try and so it's a suggestion. I had it from Raf. This Raf, maybe you probably don't have time, or you don't know anything here, but they'll conclude them. But this Raf, I had it from him, and I picked up on it. So if you can raise the issue, and let's see how it goes. If it's every month, let's keep that aside, like something because if we don't protect our leaders, like I said earlier, strike the shepherd and the sheep scatters. It's always the case. They always target the leaders, So that's just the brief suggestion that you might have to raise, and we see how it goes. Whenever I hear about it, then we see how. Because we can't continue down this path. But again, another good thing is that, like I also been saying for some time now, that we are in a different dispensation now. And because again, like I said many times, God is always ahead of the enemies. He's always million steps ahead of them. Sometimes he makes a plan they can't even comprehend, because the British were able to pressurize Finland, because Finland needed something too. They have no choice than to succumb, they completely crumble. But let them. God is even telling Britain now, because it's not what it used to be anymore. The world has changed. The coming of Trump has changed the dynamics of the entire global outlook. It's unimaginable what Trump has done in months, and they are jittery, they are shitting themselves now, this evil bunch of people. So they don't have that sway, but we have to still do our best to, to protect our leaders. So that is my point for now, my brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your point is very clear, and the government is also thinking on that direction. I know our leader must be protected. It's not... we have seen it happen first, second, and third, and nobody's going to be playing with such kind of thing. Her security is very, very important, and the government is looking on that direction also. And we cannot lose our guard, not now.
Yeah.
There's a lot at stake. We cannot lose our guard. I appreciate you for that very...
a lot is, like you say, a lot is so much at stake, because Africa is unfortunate. Most people don't know Africa is their source of wealth and survival. These Europeans, Africa is their source. I'm telling you the truth. Nigeria typically is the source of British survival. That's why anything you will see a guy like Buhari who came under his watch. Innocent people, innocent Nigerians were massacred, mauled down just for asking for good governance. And what did British did? They set up some kind of inquest, a fake one, fake inquiry. And at the end, nothing comes out of it. Nobody was held to account. No, nothing, absolutely nothing. Just to kind of deceive or manipulate people that, oh, they are against the massacre of people, because they won't tolerate that. It won't happen in their own country. But at the end of it, Buhari came to this country. Buhari came to UK, and he was welcomed with an open arm. So, with an open arm. So, how do you explain that if they are really for humanity? Not at all. And so, obviously for them, anything, because Nigeria is their business empire. We know that. So anybody and anything that is going to change that, they will come on that thing or that person heavily. So that's why we cannot let our guards down, because we are dealing with enemies that are brutal. There's no humanity in them. There's absolutely nothing godly in them. Absolutely so. And as we speak now, they are waging war against Trump, but they will fail. They will definitely fail. In fact, they failed already. Thank you so much, Brachus.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So, my fellow Biafrans that are watching, anywhere you're watching from, I hope you are getting the informations. We must continue to use the media and use it effectively. Do not lose your guard. The United States of Biafra government is doing everything humanly possible to put us on the limelight and get the recognition we deserve. Very soon, if you can look on the flyer that I just posted here, it says Foreign Affairs USB Department of States coming up. Inauguration of the Administrative Office of the United States of Biafra Mission, Washington, D.C. Details to be announced soon. Finally, we have our headquarters at the Washington, D.C. will be inaugurated very soon. Everything is being put in place, and very soon the details will be announced. That is to show you that the Biafran government is not sleeping. The pursuit of recognition and doing the right thing is being done. The Deputy Prime Minister is working tirelessly and continue to push the movement until our Prime Minister Mazi Samanekwa joins us. So our foreign mission will be opened, our embassy will be opened in Washington, D.C. very, very soon, and the date will be announced very soon. When the date is announced, I will also come here to tell you the date and the information, how it goes, so that we can follow up and join up. A lot of development, and this one here, you can see this is another meeting with congressmen in the United States. It says Diplomatic Updates, USB Foreign Affairs. The Director General of Foreign Affairs under the United States of Biafra Department of States, Honorable Ada Eze, held an extensive meeting at the Office of Congresswoman Ellen Norton. The USB government has intensified its awareness on the ongoing genocide. So, this is a representative of the United States of Biafra having a meeting with the congressman, as always, making sure that things are done the way it is going to be done. Information are being passed, documents, pictures, videos are being sent forth for them to know what is going on. You know, you can't just sit back and say, oh, they see it online, they see it. Everything must be made official. If you do not tender your complaint officially, if you don't make it official, it is going to be there. Nobody's going to respond to it. So that is why the government is making everything official. And very soon, our office in Washington, D.C. is going to be opened officially, and we will go from there. So when we talk about the issue of Biafra, it is not something that is a joke. Forget about some of our brothers today who have left what they're supposed to do and they are doing something else. Just like those of them who have forgotten that what we are after is to look for the independent state of Biafra to fight for freedom. Fighting for freedom is what we are all about. If you feel that you cannot work under a certain group or a certain government, why don't you focus your attention on what you want to do and continue to do it? Why are you wasting your time on propaganda and blackmail? Somebody will come on a live program, you spend your time talking trash, speaking things that will not add meaning. Instead of legitimizing the Biafran government, you are delegitimizing it. These were people who were in the meeting where my sister Maraba said, we are going to pursue the legitimization of Biafran government after the declaration. Today, as we are going forward to pursue the legitimization of the United States of Biafra, some people are out there delegitimizing the United States of Biafra and demarketing it. And they still claim that they are fighting for Biafra. It is sad. It is very sad. Just like one video I saw, there's one video I saw where one of them was speaking and said that our Deputy Prime Minister is going to Finland. That she's going to Finland. And you are using that as a topic. You are using that as a program, even though you know it's a lie. But even if she decides to go to Finland, what is the big deal about that? She has every right to go there. Our Prime Minister there, she has been there before. We have a responsibility to go there. We have reasons, numerous reasons to be there. There are numerous reasons. As the Deputy Prime Minister of Biafra, she has every reason to be there. But you see somebody coming online to continue to use it as a program, even though it is a lie. Even though it is a lie. If our Deputy Prime Minister is going to Finland, she is going to inform us and she will be there. She will go online and she will do whatever she wants to do and come back. Why is that a big deal? Why is that something you're going to use as a propaganda or a blackmail, even though it's a lie? And Deputy Prime Minister have come out to make a video in regards to that nonsense. Because they were pushing that lie to make people either to project themselves as one thing or the other. While we are busy talking about winning recognition for Biafra. Why do you think that demarketing Biafra is the only thing you can do? Why do you think that demarketing Biafra will pay you well? In a time when you are seeing confession coming from east, west, north, and south, that you have to capitalize on this time that the enemies are falling. Capitalize it on this time and then project your case to the world. Let the world see what you are facing. Instead of doing that, you are still busy fighting against your own. There are still some of us, even in the midst of these confessions we are hearing right, left, and center, there are some people today who are not bold to call themselves Biafra, who are not bold to speak as Biafra. I saw a news, there was one news I saw where they were, what is his name? What is his name? I heard they arrested this guy, this one that is a musician. Let me see if I can find out that news. No, not Abby. One of these musicians. I saw the news. Let me see if I can find it.
In the zoo, or?
Yeah. Court remands P-Square's brother, and ex-manager Jude Okoye in prison over alleged 1.3 billion naira. $1 million. 34, whatever fraud. This is the news I saw. I saw it online. These are people who cannot boldly come and stand themselves out as a Biafra. But what caught my attention is that when they were taking him out, he was dressed like a Fulani man. Look at him, dressed like a Fulani man. And I asked myself, what is the essence of dressing like a Fulani man? This is an Igbo man. What's the essence of dressing like a Fulani man? Even though you grew in the north, you know you grew in the north, but what message are you trying to pass by dressing like a Fulani man? The twin brother of P-Square. And that is how they will say, when we tell them that Nigeria will happen to you, they will never believe it. They will continue to misbehave, all right? And it's real. He said, Jude Okoye, along with his company, yes, his name is Jude Okoye. Jude Okoye, along with his company, Northside Music Limited, was assigned before Justice Alexander Owoye of the Federal High Court in Lagos on Wednesday, facing a 7-count charge related to financial crime. On Wednesday, just this Wednesday, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, has taken Jude Okoye, the elder brother and former manager of the defunct music duo P-Square, in court over alleged money laundering involving 1.38 billion naira, $1 million, and 34,537 pounds. Jude Okoye, along with his company Northwest Music Limited, was arraigned before Justice Alexander Iwoye of the Federal High Court in Lagos on Wednesday, facing a 7-count charge related to financial crime. That is it. But what caught my attention is, why is he dressed like a Fulani man? These are people who are ashamed of who they are. They are ashamed of their identity. And they hide under the one Nigeria, and they think that one Nigeria will make them relevant. They think that one Nigeria will save them. They think that one Nigeria will save them. If this kind of people, when you talk about Biafra, these are the group of people who grew in the North, and they feel that the North love them. The same thing with the other one that is playing football, who went and build a state in the North. And they think those things will be Fulani man. They will never love you. It doesn't matter what you do. It does not matter how you do. You cannot be as close to them as other people who have been there before. You can never. Look at the ones now, like our brothers in the riverine area that are asking for. They are asking for the pardon of what is his name? What is this? Kinsaro Yuwa. They are asking for the pardon of Kinsaro Yuwa after he has been murdered. They are asking for his pardon. The federal government should pardon him and grant him whatever. And when you check that one's record also, he was one of those who worked against Biafra during the Civil War. He was one of the major people they used against Biafra during the Civil War. He was the one that brought Nigerian army inside Biafra. His own hometown, his own Biafra, he was one of those who worked against his own people. He worked against his own people. But at the end of the day, the same Nigeria were the ones that took his life. The same Nigeria were the ones that condemned him. The Ogoni cleaning was not done. Up to today, they have not done it. Today, they are coming back. They want to forgive him, pardon. They say they want to pardon him. After they have murdered him, the next thing they will do is compensation. Then they will give them money and they will share, and that is it. Kinsaro Yuwa was also a saboteur, a great saboteur who sabotaged the Biafran Civil War. That story that man I played the video was playing, it was this Kinsaro Yuwa and his group that was leading them for those blockade. They want to lead them on the road on how to block the whole places in Biafra land. In River State, more especially, they were the ones that work in that area. A saboteur. At the end of the day, the same people, is it not Abacha that murdered him? The same people they fought against Biafra, his own brothers with. A fellow Biafran brother, he fought against him. The same thing you see Wike doing today. You see Wike jumping up and down in Abuja. You see him jumping up and down in Abuja, he think he has arrived. They are going to finish him. You saw also Rotimi Amaechi when he was jumping with Buhari. Where is he today? Where is he today? And I don't know why these people cannot learn their lesson. They cannot learn. Look at all the videos I played today and how all the stories started. Chukuma Kaduna Nzogu, who was more Hausa than Hausa man, yet he saw their evil and he wanted to correct it. At the end of the day, he brought doom. Today, you think by wearing Aboki clothes and walking up and down will make your case lighter. They never remember you. Once they remember you, then what Nigeria happened to you, you are gone. Look at him. Peter Okoye. Look at him. These are people who spend all their life out. And when you talk, you dare not talk about Biafra to them. Dressed in house, Aboki. They think this will save you. This will save you from EFCC. Goodbye. So we'll see you again. My brother Greg, go ahead and talk to us. You have something to say. Speak on this issue. Let's move on.
Yes. Sometimes that is what I'm telling you. Because the enemy inside the house is worse than the one outside. I just want to touch a little bit concerning our DPMs, our COS. Concerning her safety, just it is a thing that is very, very important. for Biafrans because as an abam so the cabinet have to think, go and have a meeting and think about it. Because we have to think and know what we're supposed to be doing and what we're supposed to do. So we don't give room, even though it's only God that guides person. Because a person like Trump, even with all the security, they almost got him if you are not God. That's why the Bible says, the guide in vain, except only when God guides.
Yes.
But still, as now, only need about a Greek and Megan. And then as now, so it's if it is a kind of advice to our COS for her to always know her way, always look her back, because the enemies are not sleeping. Nigeria is desperate. Nigeria have a goal, and that is why they are using all means. That is why I cannot. I said, if anything is happening tomorrow, there's nothing that will make me to say, okay, let me go and sit with these people and discuss, or let me join them to fight for Biafra. So if COS fail today, I will just pack and completely sleep. I will not, the last thing I will do, and the same I encourage to any reasonable Biafra, the last thing he will do is to join this group that called Ogen Kera and his group. Because I will always question myself, how can it be that we are in tight? Only just for 2 weeks, our PM was invited. You come out and tell us that you are in control of the military, you are in control of the finance, and that you ask the military to stop. Exactly the same thing DOS did. Immediately Nankan was arrested, PM, they asked the ESN to stop. And when somebody who has been carrying a gun, all of a sudden ask him to surrender and submit his gun, what do you expect him to do? What do you expect him to do? And then they go and join Soludo. So the same thing happened again. That immediately our PM was invited. He come out and tell her that you ask them to stop. For me, that is the highest crime. I don't know for another person. Knowing what we have been doing, knowing where we are and where we are going. And you tell me you ask the military to stop, and they listened to you and stopped. And the enemy were gaining ground. You know? Because little space you gain, and you stop, the enemy have to come and gain that space again. For you to gain that space again, you have to start afresh and start fighting again to pursue them from those places you have gained before. That is what they don't think, and that is what they don't know. So either he was doing it for the Nigerian government, or he was doing it just for self gain. I can't just tell, only God knows. But for me, I see it more as working for Nigeria. For the rest of our PM, or they invite our PM, only just for 2 weeks, you ask the men on the ground to stop. You seize finance, you seize all the information, the email and everything. You blocked every damn thing with your group. And you come out and tell me that you are real for Biafra. I can never believe you. And you don't end that there. You come to say, no, there will be no declaration of Biafra. You fought against declaration of Biafra independence that was planned for under 1 year. People contributed their money, take holidays for this travel. And you come out and you say that that declaration will not hold. And you tell me you're not working for Nigeria. So, and today they are still fighting to make sure, because they know that if they Anything happen to COS tomorrow, nobody will come back to work with them. So what they're doing is they're trying to do everything they would do to frustrate her. If they cannot kill her, let them frustrate her. Let her be frustrated not to do the things she's supposed to do. Or she would, out of anger, say, no, I cannot take this anymore. I want to resign. I don't want to do it again. So, and they're not doing that they want to help Biafra. They are doing it to make sure that that thing that Nigerian paid them worked. For me, that's why I say I don't know for another person. That is the only thing they don't want to achieve. So they're coming back after declaration of Biafra now, pretending as if they are fighting for Biafra and they are saying they are defending for Simon and it's pure lie. Because if it not come in that way, nobody will talk to them. Nobody will listen to them. That is the plan they had. So now, when they did not succeed in stopping the Biafra declaration, they have no other option to cook lie and tell you that Dr. Ngozi was against men on the ground and he doesn't want to release money to them. That one become a topic. They leave that one, they enter Chatter. They leave Chatter, they enter this. They leave, all of them are looking for a way to stop every good thing that is coming up. So anybody that is still listening to those people is either he's charmed or he's lying to himself, or he did not come to this Biafra originally or genuinely from the day one. Because nobody can deceive me after all these things, and they're still lying against the woman, trying to scatter everything, only just to achieve that main aim they want to achieve. But God will not let them. So if the cabinet will be sitting, please let them be talking. If they cannot afford to hire security for her, because I believe God is the security, let them always remember her to be conscious of herself in every time and everywhere she is going. So that is the message on that one. So then we come and our brothers, you said, you know, I spoke before that the problem we have, the problems are our people, not the Fulanis or not the Yorubas. The Yorubas want freedom, but they don't have the ball to stand up to fight for it. They don't have the power. So their targeting is let the Igbos fight for it. If the Igbos go, then every other person, nobody will be able to hold them down. That is their game. That is the only thing. But they want this freedom more than you. So, but they don't want to die. They want freedom, but they don't want to die. So that is the thing for the Yorubas. So for our people, I will continue asking them questions. I don't know how can somebody live in the north, just like this guy, and he will be, some of them prefer changing their names, putting themselves to be adopted to the Islam for them to be exist, so that they will be able to, so that the public will accept them, the Northerners will accept them. If you claim who you are, if they don't accept you, go home. Yeah, you don't need to be fake to be accepted to the public or to the Northern people. It had to be real, because anywhere they are, they showcase whom they are. They don't deny themselves. How many Amsterdam have you seen in Biafra land? He will be proud to dress like an Igbo man. Not even anywhere he is, he's proud of where he comes from and whom he is. But our own, immediately we live across a head bridge, we turn to other people's culture, so that we will be accepted in that place. So for me, that is evil. You see? So the earlier the better for people start thinking, showing whom they are, and start fighting for their freedom. You see? Look at the Cardinal Zogu. After when the Nigeria they killed all the Holy Igbo people, killed all many of them. Now they come back and they tell you they divide Nigeria. When they divide the states, they created the many states, and they come to the land of that Cardinal Zogu and they tell you your brother who kill is not Igbo. We kill Cardinal Zogu, but they don't tell people that you're Igbo. If you tell people you're Igbo, they will kill you. and they accepted that stupidness. They went to River State and tell them, don't accept the Igbo. Don't tell them you're not Biafra. And the same thing, they divide them and they are still clean. Not that they do all those things and favor them. Because if they have done it and say, okay, all these oils that is in the River State or in the Delta State, let all the Delta people be the oil well owners. That would have been a different thing. If they have divided those states and put all the whole shell and every other thing in the head office, which we can afford, he did not even get it to this day. He wanted the shell and all the oil companies to have their offices in the River State, where those oil are coming from. But he did not achieve it today. Where are the offices? The offices are in Lagos and Abuja. So they only put pipe and drain oil. But after all those things, none of those Ijo, none of those Calaban, all those people that, what do you call them? From where Jonathan come from? Ijo, Bayelsa, and others. How many of them have work, good position in NNPC, in Shell, in Total? How many of them have good position there? None of them. But oil come from their land. So the only thing is, Asari Dokubo is proud that he even accepted him to give him contract of killing his people in the name of protecting the oil and protecting Nigeria and keeping Nigeria warm. Just like the same thing this Yoruba man that fought, come back and regret and say he regretted it, that he fought for keeping Nigeria warm, that he was deceived. And Asari Dokubo and Tompolo are still being deceived today. This one, they're killing their blood in the name of protecting one Nigeria. So for me, it's a shame. So the earlier, the better they change. The earlier, the better they turn from their evil ways. The earlier, the better they will change from all those their atrocities they are committed against their blood. The earlier, the better for them. That is my message to them. Thank you for now. It's like our brother has come back again.
Thank you so much for that contribution. Court reminds P Square's brother and ex-manager Jude Okoye in prison over alleged 1.3 billion naira, $1 million, 34,000 pounds fraud.
Huh?
Go ahead.
In Nigeria?
In Nigeria, just on Wednesday.
Wow.
Yesterday.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I don't know the P Squares. I don't know on whose side are they. I really don't know. I really can't say.
You can see where he is. He decides he is by his dressing alone.
Uh-huh. You know, bro, this is the problem. I said it many times too, and of course, most of this our leaders, Nnamdi Kanu, and everybody. It just is a deliberate movement, action to emasculate. It's a total emasculation of Ndibo. That is the game. And Tunubu, Tunubu people, it's one of the haters of Ndibo. But unfortunately, because the Igbo men, for the most part, of course, Nnamdi Kanu, thank goodness for Nnamdi Kanu, who has stake everything on the line to let them know that we are not the same. We cannot all fall for it, you know. Tinubu said, I think prior to the election, that he brought them to Lagos and fed them. He was referring to Ndibo. But I was like, okay, if you bring one or two or whatever, like that one who have the job of gutter cleaning minister. Yeah, because those are some of his boys, you know.
Those are the ones he brought now.
Yeah, those are the ones he brought, you know. So he can't make mouth say, now I'm bringing Igbo to Lagos to feed them, blah, blah, blah. How, oh my goodness. So, but this is the urgency of, the urgency of why we need Biafra, because we must, all this reproach, it is a reproach, this can't stand. We just cannot allow it to foster, because when you see the Ojus Okalo, that former governor of Abia State, all those ones have been completely screwed front and back. Their brain, not these ones, oh my goodness. Or the other one who is the third man in the National Assembly, another Carlos or something again, just or a former governor Umahi. So these guys, they've all been so badly screwed. They are no longer. They don't represent Igbo. They are a reproach because I'm okay. This Falana, that Yoruba lawyer guy, was saying the other day that he was going to sue Babangida for the annulment of 1993 election that deprived Abiola, blah, blah, blah. But come to think of it,
Not be only sue.
So come to think about that now, that from that Abiola time, how many presidents of Nigeria has the Yoruba produced? Maybe even 3. You can even, because Shoniko was interim president for about maybe 1 year or so, close to that, and afterwards they were compensated by the Fulani hijacked Nigerian system, because that is what I tagged Nigeria. That is what Nigeria is. The Fulani hijacked Nigerian system. They compensated the Yorubas with Obasanjo, and now it's another Yoruba, Tinubu, who is there. So if you are talking about suing them for an election, annulment of an election, then think about the Igbos that pogrom, that genocide was committed against over lies, over just a cooked up story that it was an Igbo coup. Everybody now know that it wasn't an Igbo coup. And besides, even the Abure Accord, the meeting the Ojukwu had with Gowon, they lied and twisted every one of these things just to go ahead and commit this genocide. Until this day, they continue to stifle Ndibo. They continue to stifle Ndibo. They continue to marginalize and to emasculate. So you wonder what is going on here, that they will have a national budget for the year 2025 and they exclude the entire Igbo nation. That is crazy. And we have these governors and we have these senators and ministers like Umahi, and they will come and tell you that they are praying to God for Tinubu to continue as president. So you can obviously see that these people, they've lost it completely. For us, they don't exist. Obviously, they don't exist. And until we get our freedom and regain our dignity, and then we have men who can stand up and speak. For now, absolutely nobody. It's just sad. It is sad. How can an elephant become an ant in the jungle? It just bites my imagination, But we have to keep pushing, and the only redemption for Biafrans is Biafra actualization. Anything other than that, forget it. Because these two groups, over the years, they've worked together. The Southwest and the North, they've of course, it wasn't by any accident. They deliberately worked together, and they did what they did. So we cannot faint ignorant about this. That again, even the agitation for Duduwa is not something that there's a way I looked at it, because for them it's a win-win, more or less. If Oduduwa comes, like if we goes, they will go for sure. Every other people will go. But so for them, if Nigeria, if they go, or if they have Oduduwa, fine. If they don't have Oduduwa, they've partake, or they not just participated, they've shared the loot or the spoil of Nigeria between the two regions, the North and the Southwest. Lagos is one of the most sophisticated cities in Africa, and they continue to develop it with the resources, basically resources coming from Biafra land. And there's this woman now whom they say she's the richest black woman in Africa, the Oye woman, Alakija, These are maybe you know her, right?
Yeah.
So I was just hearing this morning that she's sick, she's blind completely now. Okay, but these are the people. Blind. Yeah. It is a breaking news that she just went completely. So, but the point is this: these are people that benefited from oil and gas resources in Biafra land. Yes. She and Fulanis, they own the oil wells. So Obasanjo gave it to them. But the people whose land these resources is coming from, they are completely, exempted, and they completely shut out. And you begin to wonder for these people also who say they are Niger Delta, or they are Biafra, or they are not Biafra. What are you doing to yourself? Your environment is completely spoiled, polluted, degraded, and you are guiding these oils for non-indigenous people from other regions, and they are making wealth off of you. I don't understand them. I just don't understand the people from Nigeria, how they can allow this. And they also, when I look at, so even some of our Igbo people scattered around the globe in many places, America, Europe, wherever. Again, when I look, I'll be wondering, what future? What does future hold for them without Biafra? They have no idea that there is no place and there is nothing for them in Nigeria. It beats my imagination that they will just sit and watch. Maybe because they've settled in America, they have businesses. Okay, so in other words, you are completely lost. You won't go back home. You have no home, and that is it's a tragedy to assume that, because except Biafra, nothing is going to happen. These politicians, they are working with the enemies to achieve their goal. And their goal is to maybe knowingly or unknowingly, but the goal here is to make sure that the entire Nigerian region is taken over by the Fulanis from the Futajelon, from the Sahel region, because that is the bigger picture, the bigger agenda of the globalists, Yes. So we know this, but we also thank God that we know this, and things are shifting. People's eyes is opening. So, but we still have to keep watch, because the enemies won't relent. So we also shouldn't relent. It's really sad because I don't see or hear lots of stuff. But if there are people who are still creating divide and rule or try to discredit this government led by Dr. Ngozi Orebeza at the moment, then it's really sad, because this window of opportunity we have, we've never really had it like that, to be honest with you. The way I envision it, the way I see it, we've really never really been in a position like this. And situations don't stay forever, it changes, So the Democrats, I don't trust them, because they are part of the globalist, pushing the agenda, and we know what they are pushing. We've been in it so long, so the handwriting is on the wall. So that's why when I look back, I'll be like, we need to if we genuinely said we want freedom, except we are doing it just for this mere sake of it. But if we genuinely want to be free and to liberate ourselves and our future, our generation unborn, this is the time to push so hard. Because at least we have somebody who can at least listen and not say, and somebody who will not say that to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. This was the word of Barack Obama, son of perdition. Obama is these are oh my goodness. He came to Nigeria. Heaven knows how much the Fulanis must have given to him during his campaign when he came out to pronounce that to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. How do you do that? How do you do that at the expense of the people? Constant massacre. I mean, it's crazy. But again, we thank God we are in this time now where at least somebody in the Oval Office will look to say, oh, what is going on here? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? So that is the hallmark of Donald Trump. And we thank God everywhere is shaking. Then the brain behind it all, the British in particular, because at the end of it, the buck stops with them. Nigeria is their business center. So they use their global influence, global outreach to make sure everything that happens in Nigeria never see the light of day. This is what they've been doing. all this while at UN, at ICC, different places, they use that power, that global influence to make sure it doesn't see the light of day. And just to keep Nigeria one, because it's their business. So you need to ask yourself, who are they? What kind of, are these people, what do they believe in, you know, to think that these things will continue? But, I guess, yeah, things boomerang sometimes. It will come back to bite them. You know, my brother, thank you so much for the effort. And like I said earlier, yeah, well, if again, you know what is going on. For me, when I have the opportunity, I just come in like this. So, but I just feel very strongly that it's important that we must give protection to Dr. Ngozi Arabeze. You just cannot just let it go like that, because God, like this brothers Greg said, God is the ultimate protector, but at the same time, we still have to do something. You know, I think specifically if that can be targeted out or budget out, kind of spelled out every month, this is people should be putting for this. It's not so hard to get one or two or three or somebody who will be around, you know. So I think, I don't know. So think about it, and you know, you can always you can always send me a text too or anything, because I'm not always, you know, able to get things. But if anything, just, even if it's text you send me, that would be fine. Huh?
I got you. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will be rounding up now. I got you. We'll be rounding up now. So, Bro Greg, give us your closing remark as we round up. We've been here almost 3 hours. Give us your closing remark so that we can round up.
Thank you, and thank you, Biafrans. Brother Chus, you have done well today. I thank God that for me, we are winning. As long as we are winning home with all this testimony, for me, it's a victory. God has turned things to our own testimony. So the testimony is on our own advantage. And every little advantage we have, we must push it out for the whole world to hear it. So I will continue talking about this testimony, but there's a lot of things there to discuss about. Our people have every reason to rise up, both home and abroad. Both home and abroad. Let people come up and discuss something concerning this injustice that have been happening in our land for years against the Igbos. You build a house, they destroy. You bring business, they destroy. You live, they kill you. So we want the whole world to rise up and tell the Igbos why did they hate the Igbos? Because there is something I cannot understand, because I don't believe that the British is doing this thing because of oil. Because they know that if Biafra come, if they want that oil, they can negotiate that with the Biafrans. And they will still have that oil, even more than they will get with the from Nigeria direct. But what I can understand is they see a light in Biafra, and the West doesn't want that light to shine. Finland cannot tell me that the Simon Ekpa have been living in the land, have a Finnish child with a Finnish woman, have their citizen. If they convince Europe why Biafra must come, they have nothing to lose. They will even get more than what they will get from Nigeria. So, but what I think is they see Biafra as a light, that if they let Biafra go, the sun will shine in the life of the black, in the light of every black man in the whole world.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't believe it anymore that it's a matter of oil and gas. No. It is a matter of the light will shine. Because sometimes they kind of have said, come and take this oil free. We don't want it. We don't want this oil anymore. But only what we want is freedom. He did not say it in the secret. He said it in the open several times and many times. So the gang up against the Biafra is because, you know, when Chinese people were rising, they were not happy. If you remember during the Clinton time, when the man that worked with Clinton reveals some secret to the Chinese, and that helped Chinese people to develop more I think during the Clinton time, that was when even the Congress, they attacked Clinton that he sold America to the Chinese. So that time, I think I watched it. So now what I understand is the gang up against the Biafrans are just the gang up of the whole blacks. And the problem we have is the blacks themselves are not coming to understand it. The African leaders themselves are not coming to understand it. Because if it were gas, they can negotiate direct with Biafrans and get that oil and gas. Even that the Nigerians themselves will still have the oil. It's not the, for me, I don't believe it's the oil problem. It is the matter of the light that will shine. So it's only by the power we have to fight it out ourselves and the help of God. So the West know what they're doing. So I pray all the Biafrans to stand up wherever you are, to say no, that this light must shine in Biafra land. Thank you. May God bless Biafrans. I pray for Simon Ekpan's freedom, and I pray for Dr. Namaz and the kind of freedom and health. And all the Biafrans all over the world suffering because of humiliation, injustice. Those ones in Nigeria, they hold for no reason, for no justice. My prayer that God, who can release the one that is being held by the tyrant, will release them. And we pray for the protection of the Tongas and Reweza and all the cabinets, that God will install more wisdom upon these people to move this goal, that this light will shine. Thank you, my brother Chris, and thank you, my brother Choose. May God bless us and give us more health to continue and the ability to come up and speak and contribute the area we can. Thank you, and God bless you.
Bless you too. Thank you so much. Thank you. Brother Christian, give us your closing remarks. We'll round up.
Yes, you know, like he just said, Bro Greg just said, quite frankly, it goes beyond oil and gas, you know, so it goes beyond that. There's something they know, and they saw it from because I don't know, on many other platforms I've given the instance of the things that were happening back in the days, like in the early 90s, you know. So in the 90s, early 90s, Chinese, their products and goods and services were commonized, were deemed as inferior, as low quality. You know, I remember a particular one in the mid 90s. I bought this wrist, I think it was a wristwatch, something like that, but it was Chinese made. And the Swiss guys that I was with then, they said to me, this is Chinese, that you can't use it more than a month, you know, because of the low quality, right? So, and at the same time, that was also when we had, like, in Igbo land, we see Abame this, Abame that, handbag, shoes, belt, so many things. So it was like a moving trend. But the Nigerian factor, you know, which the British they knew already, came in to derail this moving trend, because then slowly but surely they make sure no seaport functions in Biafra land, no international airport, because these are the things that would have enhanced the growth and development. The Chinese, like I said, in that 90s, they were being colonized, but almost the whole world. Fast forward today, nobody is saying that. Everybody is using Chinese. Their cars, their everything, they produce everything. But they learn, you know, through imitation or copy, whatever you want to call it. While they were doing this, they shut up, they close up their own everything. They said they don't let these people in, because they know when you let them in, they destroy you from the within. So the Chinese was able to do that. So the Nigerian factor was used. You know, they created this obstacle against the development and progress of Fundibo, of Biafra. So that is what we are living today. But the hope and prayer is that we will eventually get our freedom, so that people can blossom, develop themselves, because it's not who we are. We cannot continue to live under the shadow of other people. We are capable of developing. You know, we believe in that. So, but Nigeria is a serious hindrance. People know that. And if you say Pan-Africa, it doesn't make sense. That is the most stupidest, the most useless notion anybody can bring, that you want Pan-Africa. Yeah, Pan-African has to function, but function in the proper way, because every Africa is not one. We are different culturally, traditionally, religiously, in every way possible. in every way possible. We can work together, but don't tell me, like one was saying the other day, is it the South African guy that we want one president in Africa? one president all in charge of. That is madness. Europeans, they've experimented on all these things and it didn't lead them nowhere. And everybody, they begin to split up so that they can self-govern and better govern, move forward. And look at the result today. Some are 3 million, some 5, some 6, and they're all developed. But Africa remains in this darkness year in, year out. How long can you have to try something else? So my brother, thank you so much, brother Chus. And thank you for your effort. And we see again, okay, bro? God bless.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you for that very contribution. And fellow Biafrans, before I round it up finally, let us listen to this message. Let's end it with this very important message with humor.
Prosperity, progress, but in the mother had a padobogo, Ndoka, Bana people, Superdobogo. Una was permanent Tuesday when I don't have Pesana, Akona, Akona, Roshuna, Pesana, Jugarabugo, no, Canobarona, Niagara Puno, no Losa, Wa, and Dora Bugono, Nakakureba, Akona could empty. Una Cusina, Umurziakunu, young guitar. Una Cusina. Every person na jet na agbalelu ndị na-akụrụ ya egwu na-akụ egwu n'elu ebe pastor ga-anụrụ biri ezigbo ụlọ esi ya na-eku ya ụmụ ogbenye atụ ego jewe na-agbari ya fuel na generator ma ogbe ihe ache mụ na sọ nụ batụrụ eji chụ aja kedu ka esi wee were ụnụ chụ aja na aka ndị jiri ụnụ chụ aja mma ejiri gị chụ aja na-agba moto 7 million 10 million naira ikwani ya eje eluigwe ịhụ na ndị ụka ịfọ na enwe ebunu ga-eje ndị si ndị ụka nwere ebunu na-eje o onwekwa ebunu na-eje o bikọz na-edekwara edekwuo na ọgaranya ije enugwe dị ka anyịnya ịga na agala igwe and ngo abo garanya yo nwere bi na-eje marakwa na onwe bi na-eje and ikwena ka idodo ndị mmadụ ebe a gwani anyị je kwadobe ọgụ onye mbụrụ na ọmụ maka onwere eso ụmụ ya debe n'ọgụ na ada ọbụna egbe ka ị nwere edo ezo n'ọgụ na ada ọbụna ọgwụ ka ị na-agwọta je gwọta ọgwụ ụmụ Israel jiri gwọ ọgwụ na Baịbụl ama mụ na amakwa nke a na ndị ụmụ Israel jiri ọgụ gụọ Baịbụl wee bụrụ na akọba bụ prosperity and ngwongwo gwani ndị mmadụ na-alụ ọgụ na Baịbụl ihe niile ha na-agụ oge na Baịbụl ọbụ mmadụ anọ ebe jiri ọgụ agwaghị ha na ndị Filistia na-ewe lụọ Filistia ọdị n'obodo oyibo ọrụ na-afụ ụwa ka ọ dị Filistia ọdị n'eluigwe ụmụ Israel ewee jekwa nke ekwute ụmụ Israel mgbe anyị dị n'ụmụaka iche ma ụmụ Israel ọ bụ na eluigwe ka ọ dị nekwa Israel ebe ni ya na-ekwu okwu ya Jerusalem obodo dị ya ọ bụ n'eluigwe ka ọ dị Jerusalem dị ebe ni ihe niile na Filistia dị ebe ni Corinthians ihe niile a na-agbaghị akwụkwọ ndị Corinthians dịka edere ndị ihe niile a bụ n'ụwa m na-aga na-abụ nọ ka o mee ihe mere eme ebe a ihe mere eme and o nwere ndị o mere n'oge fa so n'oge nke anyị eje ọgụ kwado ni ọgụ na ọgụ na-ada gbabazie ndị mmadụ na ọgụ na-ada ụna agwa na ha weta ji weta rice weta nke a weta project ụna enwe na project ya zuo n'ike project gbana na nke emetere ibegwodo gbana ndị mmadụ na ọgụ na-ada let people get ready because na ọgụ na-ada ihe akịta na-abụrụzikwa ọgụ ụmụazị ndị Igbo be anyị mụrụ na anya ọgụ na-ada a na-ekwu na ọgụ na-ada ma nkunu si aghọta ya nwụ na-aghọta ihe ịnakọta na enwude ga-ebere isi onye ụka egburu isi eti na awa onwe ihe unu menwu enwude onye isi ndị ka na-egburu isi tọwa onwe ihe imenwu abịa n'ihu gara nwunye gara ụmụ gị niile brezi igwe ucha ibara arabiri igbubere onwe ihe imenwu kwa istel fara agwa gị kụbakwa aka ịtọkwa ebe ya na-akwa ka a na-agwa ụnụ ka abacha na-agwa ụnụ onwe ihe imenwu onwe ihe anwa menwu a nakata egburu fada isi ha eyirisie blak kpagharịa rituo mgbe ibi nọ mgbe eji bido igbu fada ka ha ji wee bido na-akpagharị na-eme protest oge mbụ wezie gị n'ụzọ ma na ọ ga-adịcha mma gịnị gwara gị na ọ ga-adị mma onye ifuru ka ọ na-anwụ anwụ isi ya na ọ ga-adị mma kemgbe ọ ga-adị mma tell people na enwere ọgụ na ọgụ na-akwado ịda n'obodo ọgụ na-ada n'obodo gwa ndị mmadụ ha sevubu ihe ha ga-eji wee gaa lụọ ọgụ onye nwere ego were kashi gị tii n'akpa na-esevukwu kachi na be gị ọ na-abụ ọgụ ada ị na-enye ndị agha onye agha nwude gị inye ego ọ ga-avali ugodi ego ahụ inyere for the moment ọ gwa gị na-awa were ego a na-azụgodi onwe gị gbaa na-ejiri asụ ego adị ijekwa na bankị anyị na ị na-amakwa na ịkpatakwa akapatụkwa ị na-esevukwa ego biko na bankị ga-efelu onye ọbụla mgbe ahụ maka na ọgụ anyị adada kịta eklozuo bankị agụ ewe bee ebe agụ ewe pịawa agha azụ so ndị ụka ka nnachi gwa nka gbanị ndị mmadụ na ọgụ na-ada ụnụ ekuzi n'ihe ọzọ na-agwa ha na ọgụ na-ada ọ maka ihe na anwụdebeghị n'aka ka iji ekweta na ọ na-eme a na-anwụde ndị mmadụ n'aka ọgụ na-ada ahụ ọgụ na ada and ọgụ aga ada ihe edere na Baịbụl emere unu kunu mata na ọya ada mana onwe chọrọ ịnụ ya kịta maka ọ dị ka na-azụta ego n'ime ahịa ọgụ na ada tell people na-akwado ịlụ ọgụ ịgwaza ihe ị na-ezi ya from January to December ofu ihe na-agwa ha ka ị na-agwa ha chenjere ha topic gwa na ha na ọgụ na ada anaghị agụ some part na Baịbụl ka ha wee kweta na ọgụ na ada ịga na Revelation ọgụ a na-ada na edere ya na ọ ga-ada mana ị naghị like ịgụ Revelation ọfụ ma ịgụ Revelation ihe ebe ya agụ ebe dị gị important ebe ndị ụka ya nụ wee like ya gị enye onye Project Sunday enye nke ndị fan ndị Chelsea enye nke ndị Man U enye nke ndị General enyezie nke ndị a na-akpọ Jesus Zone ihe niile na-enyekọcha ya mgbe ọbụla ụnụ na-atọ na building ụnụ na-arụ nke ọrụ nke arụ nwa na-arụkasị ihe na-arụ ụnụ tozi na rebuild onwezi anaghị emezi ihe ọfọ rebuild ihe nke arụrụ ochie arụgharịkwa ya nke ọnụgata ekpughepụ ya akụ ya parapet arụkwa ọzọ ụmụ ogbenye a na-ata afọ onwebe ebe ụka rụbara ihe rụba ụlọ ụka rụrụ ọrụ si ogbenye soro tụọ ego arụcha ụlọ ụka nwe ogbenye agụọ ya akwụkwọ gwa m ụlọ ụka ahụ the most expensive church enwe and the most expensive school enwere bụ ndị ụka nwunye mana ndị ga-atụ ego ya bụ ụmụ ogbenye rụsị ya ndị ahụ unu na-eme ebiri ekpere Wednesday ka ha rabụ ndị ọkọtụ maka ndị ọkọtụ bụ ndị nwere n'ego n'anya unu ka ha rabụ ndị ọkọtụ Holy Ghost ụmụ ogbenye na-enyekwara gị aka jakwa nakwa ndị big man ga-enyere ha aka faya ọfaya anụbịa anụcha mgbe ejuzi iji wee ụmụ akwụkwọ n'ụlọ akwụkwọ ejekwa kpọrọkwa ndị ụmụ ọkọtụ ahụ dịka isi chie ya ajekwa kpọrọkwa ha ga-agụkwa ya maka price ị ga-eti ya ndị ga-emetagwu ya bụkwa ndị ọkọtụ ahụ ị na-akpọkwa ọkọtụ kịta bikọz na ọkara gị wee nwee ego bụrụ onye ọkọtụ na-ada fire and ohelu fire ka unu dagidere mgbe ọnụ nwụrụ ọkụ ala nwụrụ ọkụ elu nwụrụ ọkụ ala nwụrụ ọkụ fire oreru ka ọchanja bidoro ịgba ọkụ unu ncha gbafucha onwe ezi ọnya fụrụ ọ fire unu tibere gbara ọchanja ọkụ kemgbe ahụ unu agbala ọsọ na fire onye ọbụla n'ọrụ onwe ya ya bụ otu ndị iwe na-enwe m nke unu ebidogokwa iwe m iwe n'ikpeazụ gwana ndị mmadụ eziokwu hapụ ihe unu na-agba ndị mmadụ na ọgụ na-ada gwana ndị mmadụ nsogbu anyị nwee iru kịta anụma ndị bụ ndị esmen n'ime ọhịa ebe ị ga-agbaba ma alụba ọgụ ka ha jiri birigodi ebiri di ya den ebiri n'ime ọhịa kọnka ime ọhịa niile nne ga-agba n'ọsọ n'ugbo nna ga-agba n'ọsọ n'ugbo gbogote n'elu ala anyị na-ekwu okwu ha niile nọcha na jọnshọn niile esi abanye na bunu sil onwebụ ihe ịfụrụ onwebụ ihe ị chọrọ imepe anya ha niile nọcha na jọnshọn bunu ịnọkọta na azụbeghị bụ ka na kpamkpamkpamkpamkpamkpa n'ụdịrọ na polisi akpụkwụ n'azụ ụlọ gị den ọgụ ada kịta ka ebe ị ga-ezo kịta arụsị ihe dị n'obodo unu buru eburu sị na unu buru ya n'aha Jizọs unu eburu ya n'aha Jizọs were soziere anyị n'aha onye kwani Jizọs unu na-akpafu unu na-egwu eweyo unu kwuo nke unu ekwu.
Thank you so much for listening. It is a very important message with humor. Wherever you are, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for what is coming. Self-defense is your right. Don't allow anybody to talk you out of the self-defense. You must defend yourself at all time. As a Biafran, it is your right to defend yourself, and your government supports you to bear arms and support yourself, defend yourself any way possible, while the Liberation Army of Biafra will continue to work and fight on our behalf. I thank you all for being part of this program. Wherever you are watching from, I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect everyone that has participated on this program. Please, if you have not yet shared this program, kindly like the program, share to all platforms, share to family and friends, share to anyone you can reach. Radical evangelism is one thing we have to do. They cannot help us to promote our program if you don't do so. Share it, very important. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe and join us so that we preach this gospel. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect every Biafran across the world. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orogwesi, our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, and our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Okike Abiama grant us victory. We shall overcome no matter what the enemy does. Thank you so much for being part of the program. I will see you again later in the evening or tomorrow. Stay blessed. Bye.
Natulaje bwana mabuli vemelem kuja Atibe kwa natulane bovo Timalugo no godo kokodo nyano be hule Dani mona tulilu Naya kalakana kwa lerinu mwangulu Ngula matali waso jere futa mbaka njuba diali ama buleti okwenu na bakala kelu ego n'ezi enu n'ụbọchị akala kelu ego n'udezi maka na baba n'ụwa aralu n'uteyi ụmụ Biafra kụnye elu ụmụ Biafra kụnye elu ọnọdụkwara igbe ọnọdụ ụlọ ọmọnọ n'ezi bịa kele nụ ọnọdụ enu lira tọnọ na ndagwurugwu senyi tọnọ n'ugwu gbadata ka anyị were ofu obi wee nataba n'ụba anyị maka na anyị ụkọ n'ụwa milion wee gba ọfụfụ ọma ha bụrụ eziokwu enyi n'aka ndị kwọta mmiri aka ịgba gwachasị enyi ka aka ezu ezu ọba bụrụ ebe wee lụta mmanụ ụmụ Biafra kụnye enu ka anyị were ofu obi wee nata